Hey, it's James here from eBassGuitar and welcome to part 2 of the Walking Bass series. In this lesson, I'm going to dig deeper into the scalic method and show you 3 ways which are super effective to use scales in your walking bass lines. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar and welcome to part 2 of the Walking Bass series. If you haven't already checked out part 1, make sure you have a good look at that because it will give you some great context for what we're going to cover today. So to recap, walking bass for me is the most powerful style of or concept for bass playing that you can learn. It literally has everything in it. So harmonically, if you want to get to know how chords and scales etc. work really well in context, walking bass is the vehicle to do it. Also, if you want to learn how the fingerboard works, walking bass has everything in that because you'll learn how to move from one end of the neck to the other, glide up and down it with ease. It is such a powerful concept. So last time we covered that there were 3 core methods that you can use to create walking bass lines. The first one was the scalic method. The second one was the chord tone method, and the third one was the chromatic method. And I showed you what those sounded like over a 2-5-1 sequence. Today, I'm going to dig a little further into the scalic method and give you 3 concepts of how to use that. And we're also going to use a slightly more involved chord sequence so you can see how it builds across the neck. Before we hit the lesson content, don't forget there is a completely free PDF workbook that comes with this lesson. All you have to do is click the link in the description below and we'll get that sent to you. That will give you some great context for what we're going to cover and a ton more information. So I encourage you to download that because it will really help. As I said earlier, we are going to be looking at the scalic method. But to do that today, we're going to be using a very well-known chord sequence which extends the 2-5-1 idea. It extends it into a concept that you may have heard of called the circle of fifths or the cycle of fourths. They're the same thing. And to demonstrate it, we're going to use the first 8 bars of a tune called Autumn Leaves. Let me play it to you so you can hear what that sounds like, then we'll talk about the chord sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's talk about this chord sequence. It is based on the cycle of fourths or the circle of fifths, depending what you want to call it, and it is detailed in the PDF workbook that comes with this, so do check that out. But let's talk through it first of all. We start off with a bar of C minor 7, and then we go to a bar of F7, and then we go to a bar of B flat major 7, and then we go to E flat major 7 for a bar, and then we go to an A minor 7 flat 5, to a D7, and then 2 bars of G minor, like so. So let's speed that up a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. C minor, F7, B flat major 7, E flat major 7, A minor 7 flat 5, to D7, to G minor 7. Like that. So the first method that we are going to use, or concept that we're going to use to create our bass line going across this, is the whole half concept. And if you've watched the first lesson, the beauty of this is it can work across major chords and minor chords, which is really cool. So we don't have to think too much at this moment in time whether we're playing a major third or a minor third. So how that works is it is whole, so that would take us from the C to the D, and then half, and then a half, so we get this line, and that will land us perfectly on the F chord for the first beat of the next bar. Then we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to go whole to take us to the G, and then 2 halves. And then that will land us perfectly on the B flat of the next bar, like so. And then we're going to go whole, and then 2 halves, like that. And that will land us perfectly on the E flat of the next bar, like so. And then we are going to go whole, and then 2 halves, like so. And what you can see is I've gone from down here, and I've traveled all the way up into the higher register using this one concept. So let me show you what this sounds like. So and so we have effortlessly walked through these 4 chords: C to F minor 7 to B flat to E flat. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump back down because we're going to run out of frets now, and we're going to deal with the A minor 7 flat 5, the D7, and the G minor 7. So we're going to dump down to the A there, and this is an A minor 7 flat 5 chord, and this is where we change up the sequence very slightly, and I'm going to use half, whole, half. So we're going to go half, like that, and this is to do with the A minor 7 flat 5. Don't worry if you don't understand this too much, but this is just another alteration you can do to it to show how super versatile it is. So let me demonstrate. We're going to start on the A, and we're going to go half, and we're going to land on the B flat. Then we're going to go whole, which will take us to the C, and then we're going to go half again, which is going to land us on a C sharp or D flat, and then first beat of the next bar, we're going to end on the D like this. So, and then we're going to take the whole half half, like that, and we're going to end on the G like that, and we can do like that, whole half half. And then what I would do to cover 2 bars of this is just drop it down the octave. And that will lead us directly back into the C chord again. So let me demonstrate what this sounds like with the backing track.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So as I said to you in part 1 of this video, actually ascending with these scalic ideas is considerably more challenging than descending. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you 2 more ideas for ascending. Now, the thing which is challenging about these next 2 ideas is you have to alter your bass line whether you're playing a major third or a minor third. So you've got to be super aware of whether you're playing a minor chord, like the C minor, to the F, which is essentially major with the B flat, B flat major 7, to the E flat major 7 like that. And then we go to the A minor 7 flat 5, which is essentially a minor, D7, which is major effectively, and then G minor, which is minor. So we need to be very, very clear whether we're using a major third or a minor third. So to do this line, I'm going to give you a little formula where we're going to play 2 roots. We're going to play the second, and then we're going to choose the third, which is right for the quality of the chord. By quality, I mean whether it's major or minor. So let's talk about this. We're starting on a C minor to begin with. We're going to go, and we're going to hit the minor third, which is the E flat, to the F, which is, and that has a major third in there, so F to A. And then we're into the B flat chord here, which is major. And then the E flat chord, which is major. And then we're going to jump all the way back down to the A here. And then we're going to put in this flattened second because that's to do with the A minor 7 flat 5 chord. And then we're going to choose a minor third, which is the C. And then we're going to go D. Like that, hitting the minor third of the G minor chord and then dropping it down the octave. So this is a really simple but just powerful concept. The thing that you've got to be aware of is choosing the right third. So let's hear what that sounds like with the backing track.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So don't forget the free PDF which comes with this lesson. You can grab it by clicking the link in the description below, and it will show you everything we've covered in this lesson written out, which will be super helpful. If you're enjoying the concepts in this lesson and want to dig deeper into the amazing world of walking bass, make sure you check out the full Essential Walking Bass Guitar course over at eBassGuitar.com. So let's talk about the third concept we're going to use today, and this I call the scalic wraparound. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the root, the second, the third, and the fifth. And what we're doing is we're wrapping around one note either side of our target note. So if it's the F, we go root, second, and we have the third, and then we have the fifth, and then we go back to that F. And it's a really powerful sound that you'll find in a ton of music, from soul to Motown to funk. It's used loads and it's really super helpful. So the one tricky thing we have to do again is adjust whether we're using a major or minor third. So don't forget to check out the PDF which comes with this lesson, because it will make that super clear. So let's talk through this. So we're going to start on the C minor chord. So we're going to go root, second, flat 3, 5. And that's going to take us to the F. And then we're going to do the same thing again for the F chord. We're going to do root, second, major third, 5. And then the same thing again for the B flat major 7, root, second, major third, 5. And then the same thing again for the E flat chord. So that's going to be root, second, third, 5th. Can you see how we've got all the way up to something like fret 15? So these ideas in walking bass can really send you all over the neck. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to jump back down to the A. We're going to go root, flatten second, third, minor third, flatten third even, and flat 5 like that, because we're doing an A minor 7 flat 5 chord. Check out the PDF which comes with that, because it'll give you the exact notes to the D, like so, root, second, major third, 5th, and then, so the minor third there, let's chuck it down the octave there, like that. So let's hear what this sounds like just with the bass guitar, so you can hear it in context. So what I'm going to do now is play the scalic wraparound a couple of times with the backing track. Then I'm going to take you through all three of the concepts that we've used in this lesson, so we can hear what they sound like in context.
1, 2, 3, 4.
guys, that is the end of part 2 of the Walking Bass series. Don't forget to grab the free PDF which comes with this lesson, because it'll add a ton of context to everything that we discussed today. Also, if you've enjoyed these ideas, make sure you check out the Essential Walking Bass course over at eBassGuitar.com. Lastly, again, if you've enjoyed the lesson, please do give it a like and share on social and leave a comment below. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar, and I'll catch you next time.